Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare.
Namaste ji, namaste. Hope you're doing well and keeping safe. So Vanshika Kasera is asking LLB plus MBA finance का क्या scope है sir? Now if you explore this channel, there is a playlist called TLOI Talks which caters to the most frequently asked questions by students of law with respect to career counseling. I believe that we have explored a lot many such topics. But आज इस पे बात करते हैं कि LLB plus MBA finance का actually क्या कोई scope है. तो उससे पहले हमें समझना पड़ेगा कि why does a company pay you and for what? So if you want to get to the deeper end of this discussion, try to watch this session till the end. Before we start off, let's explore the subjects which will be taught in a LLB versus a MBA finance. LLB primarily is CRPC, Indian Evidence Act, CPC, IPC, Constitution, ICA, torts. Primarily, that is the core crux. MBA finance will take you through call options, put options, the bond market, equity shares, debt market, debentures, all of that stuff. Basically, the art of money, because that specific MBA is focused on finance. Right? So if you want to understand way more than a common person knows about money, at least on an academic level, then you go pursue a MBA finance. Well, if you want to pursue law, then well, you go ahead with doing a 5-year LLB or a 3-year LLB. Now we must understand when we say this word scope. इसके बारे में, as I've said before, काफी चर्चा करी हुई है. But primarily speaking, in a service-based industry, you are selling your time. आप time की sale कर रहे हैं अपनी. Because let us say आप एक किराने की दुकान खोलते हैं, which is a grocery store. You sell milk food का घी और an अगरबत्ती or any other common everyday good जिसके ऊपर आप 5-10% margin रख के and you just pass on the good to your customer. Herein, what will happen? You are selling your time and then you're getting money for it. Essentially speaking, this is a trade-off. Now, the higher valued your time is, the more money that you make. And how do you make your time more valuable? Well, you pursue degrees such as this. It's pretty much as simple as that. But you tell me, कितना याद रह जाता है? How much of the syllabus that was taught to you in your 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade do you actually remember? You do not. That is why the UPSC primarily goes to NCRTs of those standards. याद कुछ भी नहीं रहता. It's all about practicing it. So let us say that you have completed your degree in law and then you didn't practice for 5 years straight. You will not remember a single order of the CPC. You will not remember sections of the CRPC. Neither will you be able to recall any of the articles mentioned in the Constitution. Why? Because when you're not implementing the knowledge that you have gained, well, you pretty much forget. And then now we come to the cardinal question of what is the scope. तो ये जब क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है तो प्रिजम्पशन ऐसे लगाई जाती है कि if I have 2 degrees, somebody will just pay me more money. No, that is not pretty much how the game of life works. Remember, again, we are selling time essentially for money, right? So in theory, our time becomes much more valuable when I have both of these degrees. But I am countering you with कि आपको कितना याद रह जाएगा when you are pursuing one of them, when you are practicing or implementing one. All right. So for example, let us say that in this presumption that we'll be offering or we'll be offered more money just because we have 2 degrees, presume that you are hired by a firm. So you are presuming that वो आपको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बनाने को देंगे वर्सेस रेगुलर लॉयर इन हाउस पर्सन. आप ही, आपके पास LLB है तो आप कॉन्ट्रैक्ट भी बना लेंगे एंड फाइनेंस का काम तो आप करेंगे ही क्योंकि आपके पास MBA फाइनेंस भी है. तो academically on paper you are far more valuable than a person who has either of these degrees. But reality is something else. Now compare yourself to a regular lawyer. How competent will you be in drafting out a contract versus a regular lawyer who is doing this day in, night out? They are bound to be better than you. And if, let us say, half your mind and half your intellect is devoted to law, how competent are you versus a dedicated finance guy? or a woman who is into finance all the time, observing markets all the time, there will be a marked difference. So for example, let us say that there is a company. The company usually will outsource. Let us say that there is a finance firm. They will usually outsource all their legal needs to a law firm because they are dedicated towards their profession, their art, right? And their business most likely will be trading. They'll be either trading in bonds, equity, or giving financial consultations such as KPMG, etc. But is a dedicated law firm better than an in-house person who is, you can say, jack of all but master of none? Will he be paid better versus will a lawyer in a dedicated law firm be better? So you, with your LLB plus finance, well, the better you get, the more money you make. But as long as, how will you get better? As long as you're getting better, how long or how do you get better? You get better by being dedicated at one job, because these are very, very dedicated fields or professions that require your full body, mind, and soul for you to get better. Unless and until you are an exceptional case who has been topping school, topping college, we're not talking about those, we're talking about an average layman. So for an academic discussion, let us say that you're doing pretty well in finance and you have a LLB to boot. It can be used as a show off कि जी हाँ जी मुझे equity के साथ साथ मुझे पता है कि what is an order, what is an article, what is a section, how is a statute read, what is a legal notice, and what will happen, or what is the legal process. So for an academic discussion and for gloating, yeah, sure. But in real life, a one degree will serve you better. So you will have to choose. So de facto, one of your degrees is going to go to waste. It can be either the LLB or it can either be the MBA finance. Because for a law firm, what will they do with your MBA finance? Sure enough, you may be knowing certain terms which may, or rather will, make you better than your colleague, but primarily the subjects in use in a law firm will be these. And then for a financial firm such as JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, they will already have law firms, dedicated law firms working on their payroll, whom they'll be paying out monthly money, retainers, etc., and transactional billing, because they are better at their job than a person who has both a LLB and a finance and knows thoda thoda of both, right? So in a law firm, if you have an MBA finance, sure enough, you will know terms better, but that doesn't mean that you'll be earning much more than a dedicated lawyer. And herein, for a finance firm, because MBA finance के बाद और नौकरी कहाँ पे मिलेगी या काम क्या करेंगे? So I'm presuming that you're going to go for a job. यहाँ पे जब आप जाएंगे, sure enough, you know, again, to gloat, आप अपने साथ वाले को बोल सकते हैं, अरे मुझे पता है लीगल नोटिस वगैरह क्या होता है, कैसे होगा, ये प्रोसेस क्या होगी. But will it really make a difference? Because remember, the question was scope क्या है? So is it worth it to do a LLB then a MBA finance? Sure enough, go ahead, do it if you afford it, primarily number one. But do remember, chances are that de facto one degree will go to waste. It's better then to specialize in one, because eventually, what will you be doing? Trading in the equity market or appearing in a court of law? Or even doing transactional work in a corporate law firm vis-a-vis financial consulting, because you have to be an expert at one. And mind you, as you keep on aging, responsibilities keep on increasing, family keeps on increasing, you get married, you have kids, how many fields can you actually cater to and do justice to them? And eventually, only those people get paid who are really exceptional at their craft. Get paid as in the numbers that you want to get paid, in your millions, trillions, whatever it is. But you have to be exceptional at your craft. उसके बाद भाई दिमाग तो एक ही है ना, ऐसे थोड़ा सा फनी सा दिमाग बना लेते हैं. एंड देन दिमाग एक ही है. जब दिमाग एक ही है भाई साहब, तो ये कहाँ कहाँ लग जाएगा. So based on that, I leave the option open to you. In my opinion, please choose one and then go hard at it. Fully devote yourself to that field and try to become the best in that field, versus having a degree in psychology, LLB and MBA finance, and then wondering why isn't the world paying you for your degrees. Nobody pays you for your degrees or education. It is what you can do with that education and what is your potential. Now you'll be like, "Arey nahi, people pay for your education if you're from IIT, FMS, etc. You get immediately such and such package." Yes, because you cleared a competitive exam and you're coming from a reputed institute, which pretty much guarantees to the employer that they need not invest that much time and money in you, that you're already competent because you survived a hard college and you went in after clearing a competitive exam. तो कुछ तो दिमाग रख ही रहे होंगे ना आप. इसके ऊपर हमने डिस्कशन करी हुई है in a previous episode of TLOI Talks. On that note, let's wind this session up. Wishing you all the best. अगर आपके दिमाग में और कुछ आता है, so leave a comment. I'll try to take it up in a session of TLOI Talks later on in the series on the channel. All right, take care. Bye.